see any writing. I see 0405. Is that recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks. This is old dude Bandit out here picking poke salad. And he's going to show you how you identify poke salad by the stems. The stems. Okay, you need to get the red part. That's not red.
Well, I'm trying to get the leaves here, but the stems are the big part, which I don't use.
Okay, see how it's reddish pink looking. So, and turn the leaf around so they can see what the leaf looks like. That's how the leaf, it's kind of wilted because it's dry over here and I haven't been watering poke salad. But at any rate, that's it there. And it's a whole bed of it over here. Go ahead, Bammy, you can continue.
And you can also take the big part and use it for fertilizer. A lot of people just put it right in where their crop is, and then it turn, you know, everything go right back to nature. Everything go right back to nature. And I try to pick the real young, fine poke salad. And once you get the berries on it, you don't too much want to mess with it.
Okay, keep in mind, folks, that poke salad, if it's not cooked properly, can be harmful to your health. That's why I recommend that if you know somebody in the family, I'm going to show you how to cook it, the way I cook it. Different people cook it different ways. Basically, what they do is they parboil it 2 or 3 times. Some people only do it twice. I usually do it 2 or 3 times where you boil it, you pour the water off, and you strain it and wash it off, and you boil it again, pour the water off, strain it, and wash it off, and then you cook it.
Let me show them a difference. Didn't mean to interrupt you. But this is a weed here, people. This is a weed. It looks sort of similar to poke salad, but it's not. So you see the difference here in the leaves and then the stems. So don't get it twisted now, because, you know, we don't want you eating
Weeds
and the animal food.
Yes. The deer have been all over in here. You can see where they have trampled it. But they have not eaten one single poke salad plant because they know that it's poisonous if you eat it like it is while it's green on the vine. You do not cut this up and cut it and eat it like you eating a salad with tomatoes and green peppers and stuff like that.
Well, my grandparents used to say that they eat a mess of this a year, twice a year, and it would clean your system out. So maybe that's why deer don't eat it.
Well, the reason why it's harmful for some people is if you don't cook it properly.
True this.
It will clean you out, if you know what I mean.
True this.
Even after you cook it properly, it will send you to the washroom, but it's not as severe. But if you don't cook it right, you'll be in the bathroom all day.
True this.
So I recommend if you don't know what you're doing, don't cook it. That's my recommendation.
See, now that's the difference in the leaves, people. That's the difference. That's poke salad. And for you people that wanted me to get Fran to cook it, to show you how to do it, she finally agreed. So we're going to get some of this stuff picked here so she can show you how to cook that poke salad. Because as some of my subscribers say, yes, it's edible, very edible, but
you eat it with caution.
You eat it with caution, and you know what you're doing when you eat it.
Be prepared to stay home.
and this stuff is really good for you people.
Yeah, it's a spring thing. It comes up in the spring, and old people used to pick it in the spring when it's very young, like this is here. This is, you see it's not very tall. It can get to be 5 or 6 feet tall. And then once it gets berries on it, it's really too strong. You shouldn't eat it. Some people are immune to it. They know what they do and they eat. And some people eat the berries. They say definitely don't eat the berries and definitely don't eat the roots. but they claim that some American Indian tribes would
Eat the berries.
eat the berries and the root. There is such a thing as poke salad berry wine that is supposed to be extremely good for arthritis. Some people freeze the berries and then every day eat 1 or 2 berries.
Do your research, people. Do your research.
Do your research. It's online, but that doesn't mean that it'll work for you. Everybody's system is different. So if you know you got a weak system and every little thing makes you sick, then I really don't suggest that you cook it unless you got a grandma or an old auntie that's from down south and they know how to cook it. People that live in the northern cities that know, people crave it this time of the year. And they call people like 90-year-old cousin Nana knows how to cook it. And so every year when she cooks her poke salad, she freezes a bag or 2 for people that she know are coming south and have wanted some and don't have it available to them where they are. They may have it available, but they don't recognize it when they see it. So they don't know what to pick. And if you don't know what to pick, don't pick it.
And we get tons of it here.
We get tons of it here. We give it away to people. They drive down the road and they see it on the side of the road and they stop and they ask Arthur if they can pick it. And after we pick what we want, we say, go for it. Pick as much as you can get. Because it's a weed. You don't plant it. I guess you could plant it. But basically people, I see this one here is beginning to get berries on it. And the berries will turn purpley red. But this one is probably, when you say, Arthur, this one is too old to pick?
Yeah, I wouldn't pick that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick that one. But anyway, we're going to cut it short. And when we come back, we'll be in the kitchen. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, what I'm trying to interject here into this poke salad is I'm not putting any stalks in it, none whatsoever. What I am doing, as I prepare to clean it, I'm just taking the scissors and snipping just the leaves off itself, not the stalks, just the leaves. So we don't eat the stalks. You know, you do this pretty much the same way you do your collards and your salad greens. Now the stalks, what we'll do is we'll just use those for fertilizer. We'll put those back in the dirt. This is in comparison to what we picked or harvest on the poke salad. Now those are the stalks I was telling you about. We just put those right back in the garden. So it's sort of like chop and drop. I don't compost them, I just drop it right back in the garden. And that is the poke salad that we harvest from those stalks. We use the ice method to keep them overnight fresh. Just put ice in the bag and tie the bag up and leave it until we get ready to clean it. So now we're going to wash this stuff, and we're going to wash it about 3 times. And you need to make sure that it's clean. Make sure it's clean just like you do your collards, cabbage, or other salad greens. What other greens you might raise?
Start right there.
Okay, people, she can't make up her mind where she wants to start. But anyway, she is...
First of all, I rendered the fat from 4 strips of bacon. And that's what these onions are frying in. I also added about a tablespoon of olive oil because I didn't want to use all of that bacon fat in this dish. I don't know why the old folks that did it this way use so much fat, but because I don't know why they did it, I'm not going to alter the recipe. But it's a little over 1/4 of a cup of bacon fat and about a tablespoon of olive oil in this pan. Usually when they do this dish, they do it with green onions or scallions. They cut up both the tops and the bottom, and they fry them in the oil until they're about translucent. And then I'm going to throw in, once I get to that point, I'm going to throw in a few cloves of garlic just to flavor it, because after I get through parboiling this 3 times, it's going to need all the flavor that it can get. This is the poke salad. It is not spelled salad like you eat when you eat a tossed salad. We have already poured the water off of this once. This is the second boiling. And so when it comes to a boil, I'm going to boil it for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to pour this off, and I'm going to boil it 3 times. Some people just do it 2. I'm going to do it 3. I'm going to pour the water off 3 times, and then I'll show you what the next step is.
Well, the thing about it, I washed it 3 times and not washed the color out of it. So make sure you get it clean, people.
What he's in the process of doing, we have boiled this poke salad. This is the 3rd boiling. So he is now pouring it in the colander. Oops.
Yep, that happens too, people. Just hold on. We got it. Like I said, that happens too, so you have to be careful. Hold on to what you got. Let me get the spoon here.
So what you need to do now is squeeze all of the liquid out of it. So while it's in the colander, oops, it's fogging up. Once you have squeezed all of the liquid out of it.
Okay, I think I've got it. It's not dripping. So I think I got all the liquid out of it.
Ooh. Is this thing recording? It's got 134.
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
And we're going to take it over here and put it in the pan that Fran told me with the onions. And we don't want to splatter nobody.
You might want to get the tongs.
People, I'm new to this, so you just have to bear with me. Fran is supposed to be the cook, but I wound up putting this poke salad in this pan here. Okay, so people, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let Fran have it, and I'm going to take the camera and let her finish explaining to you as to what's going on.
Basically, you just move it around in the oil and the onions, and you let it continue to cook in the grease. Before I started parboiling this, I did cut it up a little bit more. I rolled it up like a cigar, and then I slice it the way you would turnip greens or collard greens. So I'm not adding any more liquid to this. I'm pretty much just frying it until it gets done. Then you can season it. You can put salt and pepper on it and season it up to suit your taste. Some people boil an egg once it gets done and slice it up and put it on top. I don't do that, but if that's the way your granny did it, you're welcome to do it that way.
Well, will there be any meat in it?
Well, we could crumble up the rest of the bacon that I didn't already eat.
Oh, you've been eating up the bacon and didn't tell the Bammet.
Yeah, I did. You could crumble up the bacon and throw it in there. At this point, you're basically stir frying it.
People, this is a pretty long process, but we did want you to know that this poke salad is edible.
Spell it.
And it's spelled POKE Poke Sallet. So if you want to look it up, do your research on it. That's correct spelling for it. And it's pronounced poke. It's P-O-K-E, just like you want to poke something. So that is basically...
I think we might have squeezed a little bit too much water out of here. I think I am going to put another couple of drops of water in here because I want to cook it a little bit longer. Like I said, we did parboil it 3 times.
3 times.
And then we poured the water off of it.
And I washed it 3 times.
You really probably don't have to wash poke salad. Poke salad grows pretty high off of the ground.
True this.
So most of the time you don't have to worry about grit and sand being on it the way you do turnip greens and collard greens. I put about 2 tablespoons of water in here because I want to cook it down a little bit more. The insects don't bother it too much, but there may be insects on it, so you do need to look for that. But before Bammet started washing it, I put it in the sink and put a bunch of salt on it and some ice cubes and just let it sit for a few hours. So many times if you do that, if there are any insects on it, they'll fall off. But you still have to be careful. Every time you wash it, if you look in the bottom of the sink and there's insects and there's sand in there, you need to wash it again. Okay, I'm gonna put a little salt on here. This is like spinach. He had a great big container of this stuff, and you see how it has cooked down. It looks a lot like spinach, but it doesn't taste like spinach. It tastes like poke salad. There's no other taste like it. So I'm gonna put a little Himalayan salt on here, and then I'm gonna taste it.
But people, it's free, you know, it's on the side of the road, it's out in the fields. Basically, if there have been new dirt turned over, then you can find poke salad because it seems to grow where there have been some new excavating done, or if they have got established in the area, it usually come back in that area. So it's free, so all you gotta do is learn how to fix it, especially those people that need that protein and that veggies. Can't say that word, but anyway.
And look in, if it has grown there before, like last year, it will definitely come back this year. Look along fence lines because the birds eat the poke berries and they sit on the fence lines, and that's where you'll see it. Poke salad has a long taproot like a lot of other things.
And look in your garden for sure because
look for the pink stalks.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it'll come back up. We got a yard full of it. Bammet didn't pick all of it, but I still got frozen poke salad from last year. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Bennett has never eaten my poke salad. But I told him if I cook poke salad this time, he is going to eat it. He ate his mama's. I
Yes.
have given it to my relatives. I have eaten it myself. Now, if he doesn't show up Tuesday, you know it didn't go well for him.
But anyway,
But
people,
if he shows up Tuesday and he's looking all happy and bushy-tailed, and he did all right. I'm convinced he'll do all right.
But-
I've cooked it this way before.
but anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get over here and try to get this thing edited and posted. And we're gonna talk to you later. And remember, we'll be on live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
If he doesn't show up, you'll say, okay, you shouldn't have eaten that poke salad.
And that'll be the Bandit with his sidekick friend. And we love you. And ain't a thing you can do about it.